I fully intended coming out here after I got doing yard work, and I said last week I wasn't gonna complain about the heat, but I'm not. I'm not gonna complain about it. But I'm not working tonight. It is too hot out there. That yard work kicked my butt. I'll see y'all in the morning. New day. No sweat ring yet. We're out here. We've never been here before. 90s Ranger. We're making it do little baby hops. Hopefully at 3 wheels. Hopefully it does cool stuff. We're going to add a ton of weight, ton of batteries, ton of pumps. That's pretty much the breakdown of this. Like I say every time, there's like 100 and something videos of us body dropping a Mazda and body dropping a Capri, so go check those out. Just this week alone, we gained like 35 subscribers, and I truly appreciate that. So if you're new here, welcome. Let's just do some stuff. There's giveaways every time we hit 100 subscribers. So we're at 4,830 subscribers. Once we hit the next 4,900, we're doing giveaways. T-shirts, air filters, stickers. Just stick around. All you gotta do is subscribe. That's it. Doesn't cost shit dime. Just hang out, subscribe. When we get closer to that mark, I'll let y'all know, and we'll start the giveaway over again. That's it. But we're out here trying to get something done. I'm out here trying to mock up some things with some stuff I had laying around forever, so long that brand new parts are starting to rust because of the humidity around here. I have these random bag plates. I got a good price on them. They're a 1/4 inch thick. I'm kind of thinking we're going to utilize these as cylinder mounts. Of course they're going to get heavily modified and cut up and things welded to them, but this is 1/4 inch material that I don't have to bend, I don't have to cut, and I don't have to grind. It's ready to go. It just has a hole. It's in the wrong place, but that's alright. I literally can't make that piece for as much as I paid for it. I can't go to the store and buy a 1/4 inch plate and cut it. I can't go to the store and buy it for as little as I paid for them. Shout out to Lower Class Fab for the other things that we had made, all of the tabs and bar strengthening things. These ones didn't come from him. This was a long time ago. I probably had these in the shed for like 3 years, maybe? It's been a while. But regardless, we got them. We're going to use them. It's cheaper and easier, and it's pretty much ready to go. When you get brand new coils for lowriders, they will compress. They will basically break in. Whatever height they are when you first put them in, it is not the height they will be after 3 months of driving, or however long. If you're hopping, even less. They break in even quicker going down that road. But they will get shorter. So keep that in mind. If you put your stuff together in your lowrider and it sits up higher than you anticipated, there's a good chance it's going to go down. Just give it a little bit of time. I'm not talking like 6 inches or anything, but an inch, sometimes even 2, depending on where you got the springs from, is reasonable, and it can happen. Especially when it comes to this. There is 0 weight on this. It's going to have over 1,000 pounds behind the rear axle, and it's holding up the whole back of the truck. They are 2 3/4 tons, I believe, and we're going to have over half a ton of weight just resting on them all the time. You get what I'm saying? But we need to make up some stuff. I'm going to make up, debating on going out there. All of the things that are in my yard are, it's already 90 degrees. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. All of the things outside are already really, really hot. So if I can find some tubing laying around to where we can make a mock-up spring that's a little bit shorter than this spring, it would help us a lot. So I'm going to go outside and measure some stuff, and hopefully I have something laying around. Hopefully I have something that's already cut down a little bit. Then we're going to go from there. But if you've never been here before, subscribe, do all the normal YouTube-y things that everybody asks you to do. Stick around, because that subscription could win you some free stuff. I need something about 5.5 inches. I had mentioned it before about potentially putting my buddy Justin's C10, which is at my house, on a video. Potentially it's going to get its own videos. Talked to Justin yesterday and he got the title, so he's cool with actually putting money into it. It's a whole thing. I don't know if everybody's city, state, town, whatever, DMV related around you, you can do the same thing, but in Virginia, if something's literally abandoned and there's no title for it when you purchased it, you can register that. They send information to other people that used to own the vehicle. If they don't get back to you, it's yours forever. We got 4.5, 6.5. But here, this is the truck. This is what I'm talking about. So if y'all want to see this, potentially at the end of this video, we're going to start fixing it up. I don't know exactly what his plans are. I know that he does not want to bag it. And he might have y'all help him decide on the engine size and what to do with the engine. It has a small block in it now with questionable healthiness. You're gonna pull the intake off and distributor and all those things and check everything. It popped the freeze plugs out of it, so there's no telling if it's actually good. Got another piece of pipe here. What did we say inside? 5.5? Did I actually find a piece of 5.5 steel that's cut down a little bit? Might have got lucky on this one. Look at that. And it's long enough that we can cut it down and square it up. I have no idea where this came from. But, as I've said 100 times, I'm a hoarder. So, whenever I see things laying in people's yard, they're like, yeah, I'm going to throw that away. And the old hoarder tendencies come out. I can't resist, especially if it's steel. So I end up with thousands and thousands of pounds of random material laying around. It looks flattish. It's almost all the way through. That's pretty good. We'll go a little smaller. Really, really loud noises.
Really loud noises, got it.
Terrible, not loud, like terrible. Yeah, I got a 14-inch blade on there. I'm gonna say it should have cut all the way through that, but I didn't have the 15 on there. There's like a hair thickness left. So we're doing a little detour in this episode, little side build action. If y'all want to see this full build action, you gotta let me know. Justin gave the approval now that he owns this truck officially. But there was the tiniest, like a little bit of a quarter panel in a video of this truck, and I had like 6 dudes, hey, when are you building the C10 on the channel? This is Justin's C10, a little square body, short bed, potentially a rowdy little truck here. We're doing some diagnostics here. I'm gonna pull the intake off, check the valley. It had two. Oh, I'll let Justin explain.
Yeah. So both freeze plugs were gone from behind the motor mounts. So usually that means it cracks the valley as well. So more or less this is to find out what the route is with this truck. Does it stay small block? Are we going LS? Don't really want to go big block because I want to drive this thing everywhere. Kind of the deciding factor for me. So I'm definitely between small block or LS, kind of leaning towards small block because of simplicity. What do you guys think? I know what Mr. Crawford thinks.
We'll know in 20 minutes or so.
So basically, I guess the dilemma is between the LS is I could buy a stroker motor for the Monte Carlo and then have a perfectly good, not long ago rebuilt 6-liter for this truck. And I have the old heads and cam package from the car as well. And it was a pretty nicely set up street combo. So, I guess we're trying to figure out where we're going with this.
Yeah, we'll check back in. The little impact seems to work pretty good.
It really does.
You're the only one that's used it so far.
On this truck. Twice. You got lifetime warranty, right?
Yep, I don't care.
Not much of a lip there.
That's a chisel, a screwdriver, a pry bar, sometimes a hammer if you don't really feel like getting up.
That's fair. Why is this whole intake for reapplying this?
That is a ratchet wrench, a hammer, a screwdriver.
It's the same thing as the screwdriver. Got it. Here for the commentary.
Yeah. We had James change the spark plugs on the Caprice, and basically that pretty much means he built the entire thing.
Oh, for sure.
So that was my little bit of enjoyment of...
I did help him. I put a couple of those little bolts in the thing.
There you go. I didn't do anything to the Caprice officially.
Nothing. Just paid the insurance.
You know how much the insurance on the Caprice is? Have I told you about that?
$10 or some stupid shit.
No, I added the Caprice to my insurance before it was done being built.
Was it like $3 or something?
It was cheap enough that the car was down. I mean, this was like 2019. The car was down for like 4 or 5 months, whatever it took me to put it together.
And you left the insurance on it.
I put insurance on it while it was in the garage in pieces because it was that cheap. It added 14 cents to the policy.
Big spender.
Well, it's been answered. The block is trash. It is broken all along there and up here. So pretty much the decisions are, you're gonna have to help Justin decide. He has a 6-liter for the Monte Carlo that's in it already, and he can make it faster, or buy another small block and make this original-ish. So help him decide in the comments, because this one is poop. Let's go work on the Ranger. So this episode's kind of all over the place already. So it's not normally like this if you haven't been here. Oh, yesterday had to make a little detour, and it turned into a road trip with the boys because we went an hour away to some random hobby shop. But originally I planned on going out and buying a new grinder. I've had this grinder for 12 years, 13 years. It's at the point where it needs brushes and bearings. I want to attempt to rebuild it, but I don't have time to order parts. All my other grinders are just low powered. So I got a new one. It's not the same thing because they don't sell this anymore, which kind of sucks because you get used to stuff. Like, you get used to, for 13 years of pushing the same button, and that one's not the same button. It's just not the same. But this thing is rough now. You hear that? I don't know if the microphone picks up the gargling that this thing makes. Yeah, pretty rough. So that's a project for another day. And then yesterday, after all of the things that we did, we worked on his truck and we ran around, went to 2 different Ace Hardwares to try and find the same grinder. And we went to the Northern Tool and found a grinder that's similar. My mom dropped her truck off, and I got to work on that. And I got to fix a lawnmower, and all of the other random things that come along throughout my days and weeks. But it's cool. We're back out here. We're trying to get something done. I got a new grinder. Hopefully I don't hate it. Again, you just get used to these things. So this one has like a dead man switch and a lock. That one doesn't really have a dead man switch, but it has a lock. I'm gonna put this together. We're gonna try and finish the mock-up bag that I didn't get a chance to finish yesterday. And we'll see how much progress we can make, because we're behind again, like normal. Woo. Woo. I forgot what it was like. What a difference. This thing is significantly smoother. It's been a couple hours. I've been going back and forth. What y'all saw me do was modify this. Did a little rough cut of the bag bracket. Just cut it with a torch real big, and then I'll clean it up afterwards. This is another style of cup. I like to use these to center things whenever I do bridges on big body cars, G body cars, anything like it has a pre-made 4-link and a upper bridge. Even if you're replacing the bridge and you're doing C-channel or whatever you're building from scratch, I like to use these. These have a really nice machined tapered end to them, and when it's in the spring it captures it, but it allows it to move around. Whenever it's a one that comes in the kits and they're squared off, you get the same thing, but you'll get a lot of weird creaking and popping if that spring gets caught on the edge of this. It wears the spring out really fast. I have springs that I got used that have divots worn in them to the point where they'll break. So the machine ones are nice. If you can get the machine ones, highly recommend the machine ones. A lot of the time, there's these huge debates on lowrider things about how to get rid of squeaking. A thing with lowriders, whenever you're using a traditional setup that just runs a cylinder and a spring, whenever the car travels, that cylinder moves up and down. And a lot of the time on big body cars, that cylinder, if you don't set it up correctly, will be laid over. Like when the car is all the way down, the cylinder will be pointing forward. When the car is all the way up, the cylinder will be pointing back, because a lot of the guys don't get that cylinder placement exactly correct, and the cylinder just does whatever it wants to. It's not completely avoidable. It happens. It's part of it. With this, it helps keep the spring centered, which in turn, because the bottom of the spring is captured by the bottom cup, this captures the top of the spring. If you cut out the material, like I did here, all the way around this, the chance of that cylinder being able to move far enough in this pocket to actually make contact with that is greatly reduced. Versus this guy. This guy will sit there and rub on that cylinder and it'll wear a hole into it. I have a bunch of crap cylinders that I use for mock-up with holes worn in them from these things. I do not care for these. A lot of the time I'll use these on stuff that I know won't move. Not necessarily won't move. I'll use these on cars with accumulators. We'll say that. Cars with accumulators, the cylinder, most of the time I don't run a spring. Been over it 100 times. So this, after all of this is mocked up, will get welded to the bottom of this plate. It'll be 100% welded, cleaned up and looking good. This hole will be cut out exactly to the diameter of this hole. This will be welded to the top of this. All of this will be together. The thing that I've been going back and forth with, and I wasted a lot of today trying to figure this out, there's a couple ways I can go about doing this. Usually I've done a cylinder on bar 3 times now on a full-size trucks. What I usually try and do is get the bottom bar the same or parallel with this bag bracket. That way when the truck's all the way down, the cylinder, the spring, everything is exactly straight with the bottom bar. That way when it raises up, it kind of follows the curve. But there's other ways you can go about doing this. If you wanted to, you can account for the fact that all of this stuff is going to be at an angle, and you can weld this stuff to where it's going to be more in line with that. It's not usually the way I do it, so I think I'm just going to go about this my normal way. The only thing that I've been stuck on, I can't make up my mind for whatever reason today, mainly because it's a ton more work, is pocketing the frame. I've pocketed a lot of frames for a lot of bags, pocketed frames for cylinders exactly like this. I'm not sure if I want to pocket it, if I want to put it together, cross my fingers that it doesn't rub, which it's probably going to rub, and then change it later. I could build it all the way it is and pocket it afterwards. It's always a possibility, because the pocket would be below the actual mount. I just can't make up my mind today. I don't know what it is. It's one of them days that just keep me going back and forth. But what I did figure out is I still want to build like a traditional style bridge, which would be straight across on normal things, and the cylinders would be here on like a big body car. If I have the room, like a truck like this, I'm not going to put the springs in the middle like a big body car. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. It's just, you're trying to pack so much stuff in such a tiny area. This is already a mini truck. I don't want to run mini truck coils. There's no room in there for all of this. It's unnecessary packing of stuff in this frame. With that said, we're getting away from the bridge being directly above the rear end, because it doesn't need to be there because there's no spring there. I'm thinking about building the bridge here, forward of the rear end. I haven't decided, again, because I can't keep going back and forth on this, exactly how I want to do that, but I came up with an idea. I have a lot of this 2x2 that I bought to build this truck. I'm going to get these parallel with each other, so this would be the same plane as the lower bar. I think I'm going to notch the frame here, all the way around this, and run this bar straight across. I had said last weekend that the truck potentially could go lower, but as I keep adding stuff to this poop sandwich, the sandwich keeps getting taller. So, oh, we might lose power soon. That thunder is crazy. It's shaking the whole garage. So, I don't picture the truck going down too much, considering I still have to weld this on there. The spring still has to go in here. The spring is almost 1.5 inches taller than my mock-up. And this is, I forgot to actually say something. The reason we made this mock-up, as you can see now, getting ahead of myself, rambling, you know. You can see here, actually, this would be a good example. Springs aren't flat. They're curled. So, try and hold that level. You can see it's at an angle. No matter which way you turn it, that angle is going to change. This mock-up spring thing allows me to visualize this, mock this up, and get it repeatable. So I don't have to like hold things up and try and clamp things and figure it out and measure and do all these things. I gotta measure, but you get what I'm saying. I don't have to stand on my toes and pat my head and rub my belly at the same time to get this centered. It just holds it for me, and it's very simple and easy. A couple of things I need to do because we haven't really gotten anywhere except for ideas today. I'm going to cut the other hole. I have a whole lot of sandblasting to do. I need to sandblast the bottom plates. I need to sandblast the bottoms of these because they're coated in something that I don't want to weld to. I need to sandblast something else. I need to clean up the bars and get everything mocked up. Once that's done, I think I'm going to notch this. But it's about to storm, and all of my 2x2 is in 20-foot length, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get that out of the shed today, unless I get soaking wet. I just barely made it. It is coming down. That's pretty bad. That's a close one. So, now, I don't have any excuses. I need to try and cut some stuff and make this work. GoPro stop recording. Don't touch those. They're very warm. Well, the storm got ridiculous and the power's flickered like 3 times since the storm, so I'm assuming something's messed up. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here. It's already 6 o'clock, and I don't want to burn up a welder being mid-weld and the power surge or flicker or something turn off. So, again, we got another weekend. It doesn't look like a whole lot got done, but there was a lot of determining, and I got a pretty good game plan together. Again, it might not look like a whole lot. We're getting it done. It just doesn't look like it. I don't know. So, we have about 5 degrees on this bar. Got about 5 degrees on the upper mount, so everything is parallel to each other. This is level, side to side, plumb, I guess. I don't know what you can even consider that because it's weird, but this is what I was talking about. I want to angle this. I want to come down at like a 45 or something and cap it to where it doesn't look like just a piece of tubing that stops. But it's notched into the frame. It's barely above the frame. Hopefully my body mounts are slightly above that. I have to go and look at it. If not, we'll have to work around that later on. But we got these guys welded together. We got these guys tack welded to the bars. Bars cleaned up. These sandblasted. Those sandblasted. These cut. This cut to length. So we'll cut this at a 45 next week. I'm going to go through and scribe this to where I can take these tack welds off, weld this to the bottom of it, put all of that back onto the frame. Everything would be in a general spot again, and then it can get welded to the frame. And then this can get welded to that, and same thing on the other side. Repeat the entire process. It's pretty good. We're well on our way to cutting the U-bolts off, setting the pinion angle, and then letting it droop and see what we got going on. Hopefully everything's working out the way that it should, which it should. Fingers and toes crossed. We'll see what happens, I guess. This video was kind of all over the place. Some of them are, but progress nonetheless. I gotta work on my mom's truck this week. I'm gonna attempt to get out here and get on that. So, oh, and the lawnmower that I gotta fix. So, we'll see what happens. But I appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Chances to win stuff every 100 subscribers for free. All you gotta do is subscribe. Hang out. Watch me fumble my way through the garage like I normally do. Thanks for watching. See you next Sunday.